You're very welcome back to Nationwide on this, the eve of St. Valentine's Day. Now, for a growing number of couples, the opportunity to work alongside one another is a dream come true. And in this very creative country of ours, more and more couples are combining their artistic talents with running a successful business. Maria Malarkey has been to Castlegregory in County Kerry to meet one such couple and to find out how they manage work and marriage.
Just a couple of minutes from their home and workshop in Castlegregory is this beautiful beach at Brandon Bay. It's a place where husband and wife team Niall Mellon and Kathleen McAuliffe come most days to recharge their batteries and take a break from their busy millinery business. And it was here that Kathleen and Niall met 24 years ago, when Niall was a windsurfing instructor and Kathleen was his student. However, it wasn't long before Niall joined Kathleen in the millinery business, but windsurfing is still very much close to his heart.
This is my playground, this is Brandon Bay. It's got to be one of the best places in Europe to windsurf. It's got every type of condition going, from beginners to experts. It's 2 minutes from where I work. It's a lovely place to sail and windsurf. I spent 10 years teaching around the world and I haven't been anywhere better than here. I came here in 1993 to do a season's teaching windsurfing with the local school. I met Kathleen that year and basically I never left. I've been working with my wife Kathleen as a milliner for the past 23 years. I learnt all about millinery through her. I love doing it. It's great to take a flat piece of fabric and make a 3D object that's beautiful. It's totally different from my windsurfing, but I just really enjoy it, and it gives me the flexibility. I can leave the workshop and in 5 minutes be at the beach. I can make hats in the dark. I can't windsurf in the dark, so I enjoy that flexibility that this job gives me. I stopped teaching windsurfing when I started the millinery. The last few years I've been teaching my son, who's getting very good. He's the Irish champion, he does international competitions. So I've really enjoyed doing that. It's great to be on the water together. So I feel very lucky that I can work from here. I can get on the water really quickly. We've just got a really nice lifestyle.
I moved to Ireland about 24 years ago. I was born in Portsmouth. My father was from Cork and moved over and became a headmaster there and met my mother there. And we used to always come on holiday to Kerry and Cork in the school holidays. I moved here because I'd always wanted to live here as a child. I used to come here and I'd feel at home here. So there was a great draw for me to come. I met Niall here, but both of Niall's parents are actually from Dublin, but he was brought up in the Lake District. So it was funny, we both have Irish parents, but were brought up in England, but both came back to live in Ireland. Millinery was definitely in my blood. It was my great aunt who was the milliner to the Queen. I actually have her thimble here that belonged to her, so it's quite old and it's a treasured possession to me. So I studied millinery at London College of Fashion under Maria Reardon, who makes the hats for the Queen now. She taught Philip Tracy. She's taught anyone who's in millinery has been taught by Marie. It took me 3 years to do the course with her and I made 3 hats. I had to keep doing them again. She was like, no, the line is wrong and you have to practice. So I cried a lot over those 3 hats, but I learnt my millinery well. I always wanted to do something creative with my life. That's always been the path. I've never, ever chosen a different way to live. I've always known that's the way I was meant to be. I love my job and I'm very lucky to be able to do it in such a beautiful place. I get great satisfaction out of making something with my hands. I just always like having created something at the end of the day. It just makes me feel really good. I feel fulfilled by making things. I think it's great that Niall was able to be a windsurfer and then make the jump into being a creative milliner with me. It's very good to be able to do both things. And he brings a totally different direction into the work. But he has very good taste as well. He always tells me if I'm going a bit too outrageous.
Moving from windsurfing to millinery, I found quite easy. I have a creative family. They're totally different things, but it worked quite well, and I work very well with Kathleen. We have very different standpoints on how things work, but we come together and it actually makes for a better product at the end of the day. I love the creative process. We take a flat piece of fabric and we make it into a three-dimensional object that people wear, and they look beautiful, and we get really positive feedback on the product we make. So I get a lot of satisfaction from that.
Niall and I get on well most of the time. Sometimes there's an artistic difference of opinion, but we usually come to an amicable arrangement or an agreement. And I find Niall's input on the creativity very, very helpful. He often sees something from a totally different direction than I would. And I trust his judgment as well as my own. I think we work really well as a team. And he has great creativity.
In 1995, Kathleen and Niall decided to open their own shop in Dingle, where they sell their hats as well as other products.
I come to Dingle and I'm in the shop about 3 days a week. I love coming to the shop because it's a real change and I get to meet the customers and see what's going on in the shop. Dingle's a really nice town and I love coming to meet the people who come shopping here. It's always really good and I get great ideas.
For Kathleen and Niall, living in Castlegregory and running their own business is a dream come true. They both feel very fortunate to live in such a beautiful part of the world and create products that they're very proud of.
I'm really happy that I moved here and that I was lucky enough to meet Niall and that I have my family with Finn and my chickens and my dogs. We've been living here happily for a long time now and are really appreciative of where we live here. I love just being able to step out of my door and go to work. We're amazingly privileged to have that. And I adore living in the countryside, but still being able to run a business from it.